Hello, good morning. It is morning here, and welcome back to the Turtle Wins the Race Home-Based Business Podcast. My name is Kara Buntin, and I've had a home-based business since 1999, so that's what we talk about on here. Now today, number one, I want to show you the full glory of this shirt. Okay, now this shirt has a story to it. And it's kind of, we've been referring to it as a sweater. It's like a real heavy sweatshirt. This is like the nicest sweatshirt that I've ever worn. I don't usually wear sweatshirts, but this is I'm just going to call it a sweater. This is the perfect example of how you have to find your audience. If you're selling anything, you have to find your audience. And I think a lot of people think that if they because they've been told this, if you just list something, then someone will find it, right? And you use keywords to find your audience, and you keyword it so that people who are searching for certain things will find it. And yeah, that's important to use the right keywords, because that is the first step. That's the first step for most search engines or platforms or wherever you're selling, to be able to find your listings and show them to the right audience. But sometimes you can find the right audience in other ways. And I think a lot of people don't know who their audience is. I have a very specific audience. And it's interesting because you do have to kind of go outside your audience a little bit every now and then if you want to expand. And I can talk about that in a minute. But let's go back to this glorious garment here. Okay, now I think that this is a fox. It is a fox. I know it's a fox because it's referred to as the fox sweater. I think it's a chupacabra. Okay, I look at his little face. He's perfect. Okay. Also, someone said it looked like roadkill, and I do agree with that. That doesn't offend me. Okay, but you do need to find your audience. And the reason that I bought this, okay, my daughter sent me a text with a picture of this, and all it said was, "Do you think this sweater rocks?" Okay, now I looked at the picture and I thought, what is that? That's a really weird thing. But then I said, oh, well, I could read you the little thing. But she sent this to me with no context, basically. It says, "Do you think this sweater rocks?" And I said, "I'm not sure." I said, "What the hell is it? A chupacabra?" See, I was back on the chupacabra. Then I said, "It's funny, but it's a what is it?" And she went, "LOL, it's a sweater that my coworker's shoe store carries. And nobody knows why they carry it." Okay, now I take that as a challenge, all right? And I said, "Because it's a fox, I think. Foxes are popular, and bizarro world foxes are best." I actually wrote that. And then I said, "I would wear it." That's what she was looking for. Okay, so she wrote, "Haha, I knew it." So she sent this to me just to prove to her coworker that there was someone who would wear this thing, because she was saying, "Oh, nobody knows why anybody would have this in the store, because no one's going to wear it." There's always someone who would wear it. Okay, so I got this message. I'm like, what do you mean no one would wear that? That's an excellent little fox. Okay, or chupacabra, whichever I prefer chupacabra, honestly. But it's clearly a fox because of the tail. See, that's the distinguishing characteristic of a fox, isn't it? You always draw it with little dots on the tail. If you can't see this, then you need to watch this. If you're listening to this and you're not watching the screen, go find a screen to see what it is. Anyway, so I said, "What's the name of the store?" And she told me, and I went over and bought it. So then I wrote back and I said, "Guess what I just bought?" And she's like, "Oh my God." And she said she told her coworker, who was dying. They're dying with laughter. And then the people at the shoe store, because it's like a boutique where they have clothes and stuff, they all got all excited because somebody bought this. They didn't know this conversation had happened, right? So they got all excited. They went on their group chat and said, "Somebody bought the fox sweater." And they're thinking I'm insane, which. But the whole point of this is that they apparently didn't think anybody are going to buy that sweater. And there's a customer for everything. And I looked this up, and this is it's a company out of Madrid that does it's like high fashion kind of. It's interesting. They have a lot of very interesting clothes. It's very modern. It's very you can look it up. I'll put the link to the store in the description of this video. But they have a few designs like this of different animals. And I forget the other one. I think it was a mouse or something. I don't know. But this is not the only animal like this. And so this is kind of a style, but it's a known brand. It's a known store, and it's pretty big. It looks like, just based on the website. So yeah, it's awesome. But the people at the shoe store didn't think it was. And they're like, who's going to wear this? Now, I know that when I worked at the department store, there always things will come in and you're like, who's going to wear this? But that's because you're not the customer, right? So you could actually make things, or like I was just talking to some vintage store owners yesterday when I did some live shop reviews. For my YouTube channel members, you can join the channel. There's a join button under this video probably. And we're going to do more live videos like that because it was interesting. But vintage especially, you have to kind of wait for the right customer to come along, and you have to be patient. But you can also go out and try to lure people to your shop. And that's basically what my daughter's coworker did without realizing it, because she was spreading the word. Okay, so this is the social media kind of thing, spread the word. They could have put this on their social media and said, we're not sure who would wear this, but we love it. Even if they hate it, you just go on and say you love it. All right. And I would say I will wear it because I'm wearing it. You need to go out and look for your audience. You need to find your audience. Now, clearly, this is probably not, based on their reaction to this, they're like, what buyer bought this and sent it to our store? Because this is not the kind of stuff that we normally sell, I would guess. And that could be what the reaction was. But, sometimes you have to just make an effort. You have to actually go out and look for people. You have to get people to sign up for your email list. And this is why an email list is important, because those people are your customer. And they're telling you, I'm your customer, I want to get your emails when they sign up. You can't sign people up for them, but just when they sign up for your email list, they're saying, I am your customer, send me emails. You need to find your audience. Okay. The other thing that made me think about this is there was a post in the public Facebook group about this woman who is I think she's in Los Angeles, I want to say. And she apparently has this Instagram account where she shows the paintings that she does. And she claims to have sold them for huge amounts of money. Now, I don't know if it's fake or real. I don't know. And most of the people on the account, I went over and looked at it. Most of the people are saying that's fantastic, blah, blah, blah. But the question actually wasn't about that. It was because she does pictures of celebrities and pictures from movies, and it's all complete copyright infringement. There is nothing on this woman's website probably that is not some kind of copyright infringement. Well, there is some, but there's like maybe 90% of it is. And the question was, how do they get away with this? And the answer to that is they either haven't been caught, or if they are selling things for that amount of money, somebody made the point that maybe they've actually bought a license to use it, or it's fine, they've contacted the people or whatever. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But, most of the comments on here and on Instagram were, you're not really doing these pictures, this is garbage, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm not a big fan of pop culture art, okay? That is the subject matter. I'm not a big fan of that. I wouldn't buy a big picture of some actor that's done by a painter just to put it in my living room. That's not my thing. But she's found her audience. And if she actually is selling things for that much money, which we don't know, this could be a fake it till you make it kind of thing. But I think she's gotten enough publicity, it looks like, that people probably in Los Angeles know who she is. And that's her audience, okay? Or the audience that people who would buy a big celebrity's portrait and hang it over their fireplace. I don't know who that is, but she's found her audience. It's really important to find your audience. And what I think of her audience is irrelevant. If I think that somebody has way too much money and not enough sense, and they're going to buy that kind of stuff that does not appeal to me, that's great, but it's none of my business what they spend their money on, honestly. And she has found her audience. So it's important for you to find your audience also. Now, how do you do that? And I did mention that, finding your audience isn't the only thing. Sometimes you have to expand your audience by trying different keywords, by making different products, whatever it is. And actually, in the reviews that we did yesterday, the donuts came to mind. Someone had a shop with printables that had donuts on it, like a donut party invitation or something. And one of the things I was suggesting is that you have to kind of expand your audience by either doing keywords that are appropriate to different events. And this is what I do on Pinterest. Because there's kind of a limit to how much there's a limit to how much traffic I can get anywhere with a very specific product for a very specific cake decoration that people only need for a very specific party theme at very specific times of the year. It's not like I don't sell things that are gifts. I don't sell things that people buy for themselves for fun. People buy from me when they have a very specific need. So what I need to do to find my audience is to go out and kind of fill more needs with the same product, or kind of change the product up a little bit so that it will fill a different need and find a bigger audience. So you have to expand your audience. You have to find them, then you have to expand it. So what I suggested with this donut thing is that you do donut baby shower stuff, because I know that there are donut baby shower themes. So research that and then do different, just kind of expand the donut theme. Because if you have the clip art, if you have the artwork, if you've got the ability to design different types of invitations and different types of things, with that theme, then do it. It's a printable, so you can do it and then you can list it and you don't really need to worry about it after that. That's one way to expand your audience, is just to kind of go horizontal a little bit. Don't think of different products. Think of what products do I have now that could fit a different need. And one thing that I'm doing is trying to take the products that I have and I'm looking at where the need is, and then I'm trying to expand into that audience. So that does mean going and doing some keyword research to find different groups that would be, needing whatever. One example is that Valentine's Day is coming up. This is January. I'm already selling Valentine's stuff, just so you guys know. Start selling Valentine's stuff right after Christmas, because people are searching for it now and they're buying it now. But so I'm thinking, well, this might be a good time to actually make some more Valentine's Day stuff so I can reach into that Valentine's Day audience, because I don't have that much in my shop for that. It's the same thing for any holiday. It's the same thing for, for Mother's Day, St. Patrick's Day, whatever's coming up, just make some stuff. And you don't always have to create a new product. Like I said, you can use the products that you have and keyword them differently so that it attracts a different audience. It's very important to do that one thing, okay? And then sometimes, okay, now this is the question though, because this kind of goes back to the woman with the paintings. Sometimes people get all irritated when you think of the audience first, and you don't there's kind of a philosophy with handmade artisans that I'm going to make what I love and what I love to make, and then people will find me. That does work, but there's also the other side of the coin, is that sometimes where you find where the need is and then you fill it, then you do expand your audience. You have to know, but that's more, to a lot of people that feels more commercial, and it is, because you're trying to figure out what needs to be sold and then you sell that. So it's kind of it's two sides of the same coin, but you have to decide for yourself. And I'm not saying that one way is better than the other, because I might not want to go and find where the need is and then make something if I don't like making that thing. But it depends. Do you want to sell more stuff, or do you want to be quote unquote pure with your art? And like I said, I'm not saying that one is better or more correct than the other. It just is what works for you. If you want to be more pure with your art, then seeing the people who are selling, stupid paintings, stupid artwork, stupid subject matter, it's very like pop culture kind of stuff. I think that's stupid subject matter. That's my opinion. Somebody else loves it. That's fine. Let them buy it. But if you don't want to do that, then don't do it. But you have to understand that sometimes that's going to make it harder to find a smaller audience. Like sometimes if you want to be willing to expand your audience, you have to do subject matter that you don't really like. And we were talking about this. This is Lisa from Ela and Alice was talking about this in the eShop program live that we do every week. I will put her shop link at the bottom of this video too. And she was saying that she had a product that all of a sudden started selling. And she's like, what the heck? It didn't make any sense time-wise. Like, it's not like a trendy time of the year for this or whatever. But she's like, should I make more of these? And she said, it's not really my thing. But, if I want to sell them, then I need to make them. So we were talking about that. And it's the same kind of idea. Like, if you see that something is selling, even if it's not your thing, do you want to make more of it? Do you want to not do that just it's not your thing? And, I've done both. I've done both in my time. The gum paste succulents, I just got so sick of them, I stopped selling them, even though they sold really well. But I didn't want to do it. So I'm not going to do it. It's up to you. But you need to find your audience, whether that is by reaching out on social media and letting people know about this glorious fox sweater so that they can buy it. I didn't know it was there until I heard about it, or whether it is looking at the audience that you have and trying to find adjacent audiences that would also like that so that you don't have to change your product, or whether it is figuring out what audiences want and making that, even though it's not something that you make now. There are ways to do this, and you have to decide what's right for you and what you want to do and what you're comfortable doing, because a lot of people don't want to do one or the other. That's fine. A lot of people don't like social media, so you are really reducing your reach there. But, it's up to you. And don't let anyone tell you have to do it one way or the other. It's totally up to you. It's your business. It's none of my business, right? It's your business, none of mine. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. And I just wanted to show you on my glorious sweater. I'm going to make a little emoji for him in my YouTube channel. So if you're a channel member, again, you can do the live. We're going to do live shop reviews, I think, once a month because that was fun. And also, you're going to be able to use this during the lives on Tuesday. What a deal. Okay, so I will talk to you later. Leave me any questions. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next week.